Hello, hello. We are back with Death Unto Madness after a week hiatus. We were supposed to finish this little two-shot thing last week, but someone... Just kidding. I was about to throw you under the bus, Chad.
Do not make him mad!
But no, it's fine. It ended up working out
Red
fine.
means bad, huh? Hey, Google, make my lights blue.
Do you have something against Smurfs? Is that what you're saying?
What?
Yeah.
You have something against Smurfs?
I'm racist against Smurfs.
Okay.
Well, they're not
Little
human.
blue devils, right?
Yeah, little blue devils. Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. We're here with Death Unto Madness. We've been spending like the last hour just talking about random stuff. And here we are to play some Burning Wheel. Chad, if you want to jump on Roll20, that'd probably be a thing to do at some point. No, you're good. Just reminding you.
Did you say that offended me? Is that what you said? Oh,
No.
I don't know what you said.
No. Let's go ahead and start with Silas, with beliefs and instincts and stuff. Since Chad's jumping on. Seth, what are Silas's beliefs, instincts, and traits?
Okay. Beliefs. I believe that I'm the best butcher in town because my father was confident enough to pass his butchery down to me instead of my brother. Therefore, I will shut down the slander by being successful in the next quarter. Well, my brother got shut down, so... I believe that I can use the Jagati to my advantage, so I will bribe them with a few extra portions of meat and my cooking so I can protect my father's legacy.
Is that still your belief?
Apparently.
I mean, you could totally still go for it, right? You could, like, if a Jagati comes into your shop, you could literally just try to be like, take the meat. Like,
I got nothing better to do.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Instincts. If I see an animal, I will comment or mutter on the quality of meat it might produce. Instinct 2. If someone tells me I smell bad, I will tell them to stop sniffing meat.
And traits?
Traits, I'm stinky, I'm cryptic, I'm muttering, I'm a loner, I'm a bad egg, and I have a prominent scar. I have a thick skin.
Nice. Chad, what are Amon's bits?
Let me open this up. If it lets me. All right. Amon believes he's crazy. He's people. Sorry. People's only value. He believes people's only value is their ability to satisfy his need to kill. He'll find someone to satisfy this urge.
I like how you've changed to the third person because you don't want to read this for yourself.
He's the only person who matters. He will make sure that no one finds out his secrets. He also believes that the Jagati are evil, and so he'll find a way to kill one of them when they come to raid next. His instincts are he always encourages trust in him, and if someone needs his services, then he will try to learn something about them that can be useful later. Give me 1 second. Let me do this so I can actually look at the screen in front of me. Where am I? I got beliefs and instincts and traits. What else am I supposed to read? Sorry.
Traits. Yeah.
Prominent scar. Where is his scar? Did I ever even say?
I don't think he did. Yeah.
I don't think I did either.
Exactly. You guys both have prominent scars, but nobody knows exactly how prominent because
it's on my hand. It's big because I
feel like mine would be like on my arm or something too.
Okay. Cool.
He probably was trying to cut up a body and cut himself. Agreeable.
Same.
Seemingly
human.
Whoa, dude. You seemingly concerned, thick skin, and nimble.
Very nice.
And he has an evil barber cousin. Sorry.
It's true, yeah. Last but certainly not least, we have Isidore.
Isidore.
Stuff.
That's me. And I did change one of these.
Okay, cool.
Because I think going forward with how it ended last time, then going forward, one of them I think needed to change. So, beliefs. I will live a simple life in atonement without attention. I don't want to rock the boat. The second one is the Jagati are thugs. and I'll do what I can to combat them and survive.
Cool.
So that's what has changed. And then third, I will never take another life, but I can fight to defend myself or others.
Cool.
And then instincts, I always assume I don't fully understand another's actions and motivations. And if someone is disrespectful, my anger gets the better of me.
Very
Traits. Nice. Drunk, outlaw, and plain-faced.
What was the last
Isidore.
one?
Plain-faced.
Oh.
Basically, it's
and
people
I just blend into the crowd.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. So, who do we want to start with? Who wants to start? I'll let you guys decide. You're muted, Chad, if you're trying to say something.
Did we leave off right where the raid started?
No, the raid has begun and progressed somewhat.
I forget
right?
where we left off.
So where we left off with
You
each
was
of you,
killing
right?
people.
Amon, you went
I remember
to search
that.
for a Jagati guy. You found your neighbor instead. You killed him. You killed his wife. You didn't kill his child, and she escaped. And Silas was left in his. He hid in his butcher shop because his brother got shot back, and he just kind of blocked all his doors. And Isidore was on his way to try to stop a bunch of Jagati from raping the woman he's interested in. Like, that's kind of where we left off. It's been a brutal game so far.
Yeah. I'm running to get my sword.
Your spear, but yeah.
Or spear. That's right.
I think you got it already, right? But I think you were,
that was where I had left off. Was you successfully got away? I believe is where
I'm just trying to find the rolls.
Believe is where I had left off.
Yeah, your last roll was speed. So I mean, the speed test was for the speed to actually get the spear and get back in time, right? So,
okay.
Right.
But,
that was the main point.
Yeah, narrative wise,
you hadn't shown up yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, let's start with Isidore, right? Let's go with the in media res, like right back where we left off. So Isidore, you are booking it as fast as your legs will pump to the Jagati where you left him in front of the tavern. And what's her face? Did we name her? Oh, Penelope. Yeah, Penny. Penny is being dragged out by her hair to the town square, and so Isidore, you're
outside.
Yeah, I mean they're dragging her outside basically. And Isidore, you're running up to this, right? And you can see them before you get there, right? Like you're still a distance to go.
And because I'm also not kind of like running on sort of directly main road.
Yeah.
As well. So.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you see them in your vision. You still have about maybe 100 yards to go. You're just booking it as fast as you can. You're gonna reach there. You're gonna reach it in time to interfere, right? To fight back. But I think you notice as you're running, right? You notice that. Actually, you know what? Make a perception check for me. I'm curious, like, how cognizant you are of the kind of situation before you get there. And just make it an odd one. It'll be graduated. So it'll just be like how many successes you get is how much information you know.
Okay. You're going to have to remind me how. So I click the D6.
Click the little D6. Yep. And you're not going to put any modifiers or anything else. You're just going to put in 1 for the ob and submit on all the other fields. Unless you want to spend a persona on this. But.
So base obstacle was what?
1.
1.
Yeah.
And that's all?
Yep. Cool. Pretty basic information. I mean, you're paying attention enough to have a good handle on like where they're positioned and what you could do about it. But there was something that you could have noticed if you had gone higher that you do not.
Darn. So how many are in the like immediate vicinity of her, and then kind of
so
the
I think,
larger?
Did we say that there were like 3 that came into the tavern?
There were 3 that had been into the tavern. You're right.
Yeah. So I think obviously there's those 3, but I think probably there is maybe 2 more that have joined them.
That are from right there.
That are nearby. So I mean, yeah, this is going to be a
and are those the only ones
that
I see?
Yeah, like obviously
Okay.
some of their horses are kind of just honestly.
Mhm.
So you notice this much at least, right? You notice that a lot of them have gotten off their horses, but they didn't do anything with their horses, and so a lot of their horses are kind of just like wandering around the town, and like, well, some of them are kind of like freaked out by what's going on, and you see one of them just kind of like bucking in like at a different part of the court, the kind of square that you're in, right, or you're looking at. The horses are all kind of giddy, and you see obviously some of the other Jagati are like going into other shops and stuff. But yeah, there's a group of 5 that are like.
Okay.
Right
and are
there.
they so they're kind of just walking out? Is there one that's relatively close to me, a horse?
A horse?
Yeah.
Good question. I think there is. Yeah, I think there's probably a horse that is kind of like, like has been abandoned in between you and the Jagati. Yeah.
Okay. This is the ultimate. I would have way more advantage riding in on horse.
Yeah, you want to do a Legolas move and
then
sling yourself up onto the horse and then ride at them?
Yeah, that sort of thing. So I want to try to get the horse over, use my animal handling and horse skills.
Sure.
Jump onto that horse and go from there.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, so yeah, probably the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make what? Because I'm trying to think of what the role would be for you to calm down the horse, because that's probably what's gonna have to happen first. Is to like, let's see. Because I don't know if animal husbandry is exactly the thing you're doing here, because animal husbandry is like the caring and raising of them, and just kind of trying to calm it down is probably not what you're
caring
doing.
For a horse,
I suppose. Let me just check what the writing.
At the very least, I will
is.
get a horse-wise.
No, for sure. Yeah,
it.
It's going to be one of the skills that you have. Like, I'm not going to make you roll a skill you don't have.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Why not both?
I mean, yeah, you'd be able to fork one out of the other end. I'm just trying to figure out what you're actually rolling here. Honestly, I think at this point you need to like scare the horse into compliance, right? You're trying to like.
Well,
get it to,
I have intimidation too.
I was gonna say, I think you're rolling intimidation, and you can fork in the other stuff, right? I think what you're doing more than anything is like you're just kind of like acting in charge, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Cool.
All right, cool. Okay, so I'll click intimidation.
Yes, and then you can fork in animal husbandry.
And horse-wise.
Authority-wise. That's kind of what you're doing. Yeah, and horse-wise. Yeah, I think.
And then riding as well.
I don't think riding, because you
not
nothing
at this point.
Exactly.
So that's 3.
Yep, it's gonna be a 3 help on that first field there.
And then no Artha, and then base obstacle.
Good question. So intimidation is gonna be the will of the horse. So I don't know. Let's just make it 3.
3. Bob is 3. All right, and submit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect.
Dope.
You can mark that routine intimidation checks, a little R next to the intimidation, and very nice. You just like whistle at the horse and get it to come over to you, and you sling yourself on. And I mean, yeah, you have your spear. I mean, this is a pretty good situation for you. You have a spear and a horse against a bunch of Jagati, and what the situation is like, one of the guys has her by the hair and is dragging her out into the square. The other 2 guys are laughing.
So there's only one guy who's got her, and then there's basically 2 guys immediately.
2 guys that are, I was gonna say 2 guys that are like laughing and walking along with him, and then 2 guys that they're meeting that are standing like in the square, right?
Okay.
Having probably just like murdered someone in the square, right? They just like cut someone's head off.
The horse can run in, trample a couple, and I can stab one as well, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm trying to think of how we want to do this exactly. So we could do.
I also don't want her to get harmed in the process.
Right, I know. Yeah.
And there's got to be an element of surprise as well.
Right. There's 2 main ways we can do this. So we can do intent by intent, right? We can say, all right, what are you going to do first? And say, I'm going to ride up to them and like stab one of them, right? Like take it beat by beat. We could do that. Or we could just say, you know what? let's add everybody's dice together and do a bloody versus. Let's just do this all in one roll, the whole combat, and see like how it goes. And in that case, you'll be able to add in everything that you could bring to bear in the entire combat in one roll. But obviously they're going to be against you. Mm-hmm. How do you want to do that? What do you think? Either one is probably fine with me.
I don't know. I've never
because you'll get because the main thing is like you'll get various advantage dice for the situation you found yourself in, right? Like having a horse, having a longer weapon than them, that all gives you advantages. But typically only on bloody versus sort of things. Like if you're doing intent by intent, we're gonna have to take it roll by roll, and I feel you'll have a better chance succeeding if you can bring everything to bear in one roll than having to do it piece by piece. Because then also with intents flying around, it's possible one of them might just do something to her before you get a chance to do much. But if your intent, right, is to you're gonna like kill or drive them off to save her, then there you go, one roll, you can accomplish that intent if you succeed. So my other question then, before we get to that, is Amon.
Yes.
You wanted to kill one of these Jigati.
Yeah, but I didn't get to.
Do you still? Well, that's the thing. You still have the belief, and obviously you're.
I think I want to kill all of them.
I was gonna say this might be a situation where maybe Amon sees what's going on and wants to just run into the thick of it, and because this is the thing, right? Your main thing is keep your reputation, right? But if Isidore is riding up and is gonna like fight these things, and you step in and like help him, that's a heroic thing, right? That's not gonna make you get your killing jollies, but you won't. No one will look at you weird. And I feel like you exiting the house, right, that you were in before, you might be able to see this going on, or at least hear it, and then be able to walk in on it.
Yeah, I would run over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say because then you could offer Isidore some help dice too, right, with your stuff.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So in the middle of this,
but
Isidore,
I might kill you too.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Just kidding.
In the middle of this, right, Amon is gonna step into the fight and help you, and we'll describe that after we make the roll. Probably how it all goes down. But yeah, let's start adding up dice. Let's find the bloody versus stuff. Fight. Okay, so bloody versus is like, rather than using a straight versus test, you can use a slightly more nuanced rule. The bloody versus test. This is for a quick resolution of a fight. On a bloody versus test, both players divide their weapon skills, plus forks and other advantages, into two pools, one for attack and one for defense. Each player then rolls his attack pool and then his defense pool. Successes in the defense pool subtract from the opponent's attack successes. So basically, you're gonna add up all of the dice you could have in this fight, and then split the dice that you have into two pools. Basically, how well your attack, like how aggressive you are versus how defensive you are in the fight.
Okay.
So let's do this. Let's first just add up your actual like skills, and then I'll give you the other like bonus advantage dice stuff.
Okay.
So the main thing you're rolling is spear, obviously, and your intent is to kill or drive them off to save Penny. Yeah. Obviously, you can fork in horsewise, intimidation, and riding. Because those seem like they're directly applicable to the fight. Brawling, obviously. So for any others that you see that you want to make an argument for?
I don't really see others that would fit into that.
The only other thing I could think of is because you have inconspicuous, you might be able to get the jump on him.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Right? I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because I want to kind of like maybe go around a building and then come out of like, space between two buildings.
Yeah.
Catch him sort of deal.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that. So that's 9 dice altogether, right? If you're going to be rolling spear and then adding 5 bonus dice there. You'll get 1 from Amon. Amon, I assume you're using your knives skill to help here?
Yes.
Cool. So you can get another dice from that. You have a longer weapon, so you get another die. So what you're at 7 bonus dice. Do you have any like armor or anything?
I don't have armor.
What do you actually have for gear?
Did I? I don't think so.
You have
gear. No, I just have clothes.
Just a clothes and a spear. Okay. Whoops. Let's see. I don't think they really have any armor either, so they're not going to get anything there.
Mm-hmm.
What is your reflexes? Your reflexes is 4. I wonder. I'll probably give them the same. Let's see what. Yeah, I'm going to give you a higher reflexes bonus. I think you would have a higher reflexes than they do.
Okay.
So that's another die. So that's 8, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's all you can do.
And what about something from like the horse itself? Would there be?
I
don't
mean,
know
you're
if there's
getting
any sort of. I guess that's not really like a skill or trait or anything.
Yeah,
like
I think.
that.
I mean, the writing itself is kind of the bonus there, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I consider that to be. Yeah, I mean, if you guys could think of any other advantages. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give you one more advantage die because there's a situation going on here with them that would actually be to your benefit that you don't know about yet. So you can add one more. I don't know if anyone has any other arguments for any bonus die here, bonus dice.
No, I think that's.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. So yeah, instead of actually, you're not gonna be clicking on your spear. You're just gonna. So what's the total dice? That's like 10 forks, was it?
That was 9.
10? 9? Okay. So that means you have 13 dice altogether.
Okay.
And so you're going to have to decide basically how to split those between attack and defense. And while you do that, I'm going to add up their dice.
So basically just come up with a number with like, say like 5 for attack and 4 for defense. Like
exactly. Yeah, it's basically how much you want to focus on each of those things.
Mm-hmm.
What do you care about more? Defending yourself or doing damage to them?
That actually seems like a pretty good split.
Doing what?
5 on attack and 4 on defense.
Well, you have 13 dice. Remember?
That's right, not 9.
Because you're adding your spear dice too. Yeah. Have you decided?
Yeah. 8 on attack and 5 on defense.
Okay. So I'm going to roll for them first, and then you can go ahead and roll yours. So this is their attack. And this is their defense. So they got 4 successes on attack and 1 success on defense. So go ahead and do the same thing there. If you type in /R space.
Just the on the little chat thing
in the
itself.
chat, yeah, exactly. And then the number of
/D6s.
Yep. /R space, the number of D6s, so whatever D6, and then do a greater than 4, which will tell it that makes the macro tell it how many successes you got.
So just do that. /R space 8. I'm rolling the attack
8d6.
First.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta put 8. Oh yeah, 8d6.
8d6 greater than 4.
8d6 greater than 4.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. 5 attack successes, and then do the same thing with your defense. You need to get at least 4 on your defense, or else you're going to take some damage.
Greater than
4.
Wait, wasn't the greater than supposed to be just 1 on the attack?
No, greater than 4. That's like the macro is basically saying. If you got a die that's 4 or higher, then it says you got a success.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. It's the quick count of successes there.
Ooh.
Okay, so it looks like there will be some damage. So let's figure out what this means. Successes in the defense pool subtract from the opponent's attack successes. Extra successes in the attack pool do damage as described in the weapons chapter section. Yep. So it's okay. Both sides hit. A desperate battle leads to both sides wounded. Apply a wound result as per the weapon rules. Make steel tests as appropriate. If one side hesitates, he is out of the fight, captured or run off. If both steel tests are passed, the side with the most attack successes decides what happens next. Another round of fighting, preferably with a different skill, a fort versus test to outlast your opponent, a power versus test to subdue your opponent, or a speed versus test to escape. Cool. So this is honestly the most interesting result of the whole thing. So this is a bloody knockout drag out fight that the wounds being traded on both sides.
All right.
So let's figure out what the wounds are going to look like, and then I'll have you guys describe how it like goes down narratively. Let's see. So that means you got. What did you get? Yeah, you got 4 successes over their defense, and they got 2 successes over yours. So you have a run-of-the-mill spear, yeah? I think you do. I don't think you have a poor quality spear. Where's the weapon appendix? Here you go.
It just says spear on my.
Yeah, I think I would. That seems like it would be a run-of-the-mill spear. Then that's probably why I didn't list anything else. So that means what's your power, Isidore?
Power. It is 4. Yeah, 4.
Okay. So we got 6, and then wait, what is WS? Out of 2. Gotta do some quick math here. Okay, so you got a superb hit on them, which is the best result you could have gotten. So that's good.
Epic.
And they got a. Let's see. I said I described them with axes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So. So out of 2, what do they get? They got 2 successes over you. So they're gonna do. Ooh, yeah. This might be bad.
Oh no.
Yeah. They did a regular hit, so not like an incidental hit. So the mid range. So the way this works is you got a superb hit, which for you and the spear, it's 1.5 times the power, which you add your power plus the weapon's power together, and for you that's what did you say yours was 4?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yours is 6 altogether, so it's going to be 1.5 times 6 rounded down. So 9.
9.
Yeah. So you did a B9 wound to them, and they did a B9 wound to you because the mark does damage equal to the wielder's power, and they have axes, so they get to add more power to their swings, and they have a better power than you do.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right, man. Can never go wrong with the Psalms. Let's see. So what is your? We got to look at your wound stuff here.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't mark this. Oops. What is your mortal wound?
I don't have a mortal wound. Do I?
No. It's as in like your mortal wound. It's like what is a mortal wound for you? Like the
got
level.
it.
So, oh boy. Oh, you're lucky, but not lucky at the same time. So you got a traumatic wound. Oh, you're not lucky. Okay. So traumatic wound means you take off 4 dice, which because you have a 4 in everything means you go unconscious, right? So you're going to get taken down by this. You didn't get a mortal wound, so it's not like you're going to for sure die. Mm-hmm. But you got basically the highest wound level you could get without just being decapitated or something, right?
Nice.
Or being given a mortal wound that you're like going to die from for sure. So let's see. Traumatic. I'm going to look up how they describe this, and you can tell me. Traumatic is traumatic wounds are missing limbs, shattered ribs, 3rd-degree burns, and disembowelment. So that level of injury. So think about what you might want this wound to be, and then I'll figure out. You did a B9 wound to them, which I think is going to be. It's based on what I gave them. Yeah, for them it's going to be a serious wound, which is only 3 dice off. But I think they only have a 3 perception, so they also go unconscious. So it's technically basically, and then also Amon, you get the same thing because you take part of the failure here, so you get the same level of wound. You get a B9 wound. So this is like bloody, brutal fight. Let's see, what is your mortal wound at?
They did, with lower numbers, did way more damage to us than we did to them, even though our roll was way better.
Right. Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? Like you
Why
guys.
Why don't Seth come help us?
This is about as well as
hiding.
This is about as well as you could have expected this to go in like real terms, because it's like you were outnumbered, and they had better weapons than you, and so
That's
like
true.
it was brutal to even get to this point, so you could take them out. So the thing is, Amon, this is a mortal wound for you.
I'm dead.
So let's take a step back from this. Technically, if you guys want to, you can spend a persona point to redirect. You both have a persona.
I'm dead.
Well, just wait. You can spend a persona point to redirect the narrative away from this happening. It means that the whole roll is null and void at this point, but you can do that. Or, Amon, you're going to have to spend a persona point no matter what if you want to live, because you have to spend one to like be able to survive a mortal wound. If you don't spend one when you have a mortal wound, you're going to die no matter what. Like the persona point is like the will to live, the last piece of like you could survive as long as you get treated, sort of a thing. Do you want to leave the roll as is and have the fight? Because you kill them all if you.
And then I'll get saved. Somebody will come save me if I use my persona.
The only problem is you're kind of the town doctor, so.
I'll talk them through it. Yeah, I'll use my point. I have to. I'm not about to die, dude.
You have to. My real question is, do you want to keep the roll as is?
No, yeah, that's fine. What do you want to do, Thomas? Do you like the roll? Then we'll keep it. Do you like what happened?
You still save her. You still save her. Someone's gonna have to like save you guys from. Someone's gonna have to treat you guys.
But Thomas isn't dying.
He won't die. So this is so.
I am going unconscious though.
You're unconscious, and traumatic wounds will.
Which also
progress.
I basically like lost a limb.
Basically, yeah, or that sort of level. Traumatic wounds must be treated before the conclusion of the next scene, or else it'll progress to a mortal wound. Right? So, basically, someone needs to come in here and save people's butts. To make, and so I think that's probably you, Silas. But do you want to leave it as is?
Yeah,
Thomas. Because if you do, you killed him. Like you did it.
Yeah,
she's safe.
So basically,
right?
The redirection basically it's essentially just a nullification.
So what it is so you spend a persona in this situation to redirect the narrative away from your certain death. So in this case, it would be like you redirect the narrative away from the fight going as it was the roll said, but now you're in a different situation. Well, it probably wouldn't be a fight. It would be you're now stuck in a different situation that's still bad, but isn't a fight to the death. So we would say something like, I don't know, the Jagati chieftain rides in and challenges you to single combat or something, like where it's like, okay, now it's a different sort of thing, but that role didn't happen, sort of thing. You get to redirect the narrative away from what occurred.
I kind of like the idea of redirection, but I don't know where it would go.
Yeah. I have an idea.
Okay. I want to do the redirection.
Redirection. Okay.
All right, we'll do it.
Sounds good. So go ahead and take off your persona there.
I have one.
Well, so I'm trying to think. Let me actually double check the use of this because you both were involved in the fight. I'm curious. I don't know if you do or not.
I was just helping.
Double check. But you are bound by the failure.
Yeah, thanks, Thomas. Let me fork in some other stuff. Let's redo the roll.
Well, you can't fork in.
I know
stuff
I'm dead
because
I wasn't making the roll.
Yeah. So let's see. Persona point complications. If the character has just failed the test and gotten himself into deep trouble, killed, captured, or something similarly horrible, the player can spend a persona point to redirect the narrative from certain death into further complications. As a rule, the player may choose his new fate. Oh, okay. It's got to be bad or costly, though. Otherwise, the GM can simply declare that the initial failed test result stands. So this would actually be on you. This would be, you can decide. If you want, I can always just do the thing I was thinking of, but
I don't know what direction to take.
But you still want to spend it?
Yes.
Great. Yes. And since you're the one who failed the test, ultimately, I'm fine with just Isidore spending the persona and getting to save Amon too. So do you want to describe this for me in the initial thing? So basically, you start a fight, and then something happens where there's like a bit of a stalemate, and you'll have a standoff. What is that? Like, how does that get to that point? You ride in.
And within that, nobody can actually truly get harmed or killed.
Yep, exactly.
So I think maybe I'd probably like come in. Is there no harm at all that can happen?
I mean, you could like, whack one of them with the butt of your spear or something like that, right? Like you can describe minor things like that. It's just there's not going to be any mechanical effect.
So I imagine probably come riding in. The horse probably knocks over one or two.
Yeah.
So knock over one or two. Coming with the spear. Either a whack or maybe a stab. Simple something like in the shoulder or something like that. On one of the guys. My serial killer friend comes in as well at a certain point, maybe gives a little stab, stab. And I think maybe they probably they would still have hold of her, right?
Oh yeah, maybe they just threaten her. Maybe that's probably what happens, right? Like knife to her throat, sort of a thing.
Yeah, maybe that causes. I think maybe if that's how it has to be that they would still have hold of her. I think that maybe that's what it is.
It has to be a situation that's still bad.
Yeah, the person maybe kind of with her kind of gets a little bit away and now has her, and that causes a sort of moment of
like
pausing.
Yeah. So I think what happens in that moment of pausing, at least initially, is let's see. I'm trying to think of exactly how I have an idea here. I'm just trying to think of the exact way to frame it. Yeah. So you pause for a moment, right? And you're like standing off against them, and you're like frozen because you're like, oh crap, I don't want them to harm her. And Amon, you're like standing next to him, right, with your knife. Like, and you're both just kind of like standing there like, okay, well, we can't let the citizen die. So like there's a standoff for a moment. And then I think, yeah, probably what does initially happen is another door swings open from the other side of the square, right? And a really big, muscular Jagati, who you guys probably would recognize as the guy you usually do negotiations with, right? This is the leader of this war band, and normally they just come and extort you guys, right? They just say like, okay, give us your stuff, and then they leave. But this guy, he is dragging out. No, I think probably what actually happens is he doesn't come from that building. He probably comes from you. you see, you hear the clap of hooves, and you see that guy riding down the incline away from the manor house with probably there's a couple of guys, I think, on their horses riding down from the manor, and there's like maybe the captain of the guard, the tax collector, and the guy who was like Alpheus's second like right-hand guy, the whatever person who is now currently in charge of the town in his absence. They're being pulled behind the horses really violently, right? So they're just like just being rocks hitting their heads, and like they're bloody and bruised, and then you're just being ridden to death behind these horses. And the guy, like stops near the square where you guys are, and then the chieftain gets down and then says, "Hold," in broken Sinian, and then starts to walk over to you guys, and then says something like, "What are you going to do, spearmen?"
What did he call us?
What are you going to do, spearmen?
Oh.
He's talking to Eastdor specifically.
What are you planning to do?
Yeah. And he's kind of twitching slightly, and he says, I knew you had some fight in you when I saw you before. I knew there was more to you than meets the eye.
What are you planning to do?
Yeah.
This is not the deal that you have had with us.
Yeah.
Dang, you start stepping up, man.
Deal? There's no deal. Horseman. And honestly, he probably says a more vulgar version of that, like horse lover, except not horse lover, that sort of thing, right? Yeah. Just random derogatory term like that. Mm-hmm. And he says probably, there was no deal, only power, and I have it. You don't. And then he starts to kind of like twitch more violently, and he tries to like get himself kind of under control. He's breathing kind of like deep breaths, like starting to hyperventilate for a second, and then he like
doesn't really seem like you have much power and control over there.
Shut up.
Kind of looks like you're going to end up killing yourself.
He starts to lick his lips. And then there's a moment where he like starts to raise his hand, and you're not sure what he was going to do, but then you guys hear a really loud squeal. Like, and you're not sure what made it exactly. Like, it's kind of it sounds sort of inhuman, but not really animal either. And then from, like, so you guys are kind of facing off. There's, like, probably, like, a well in the middle of the town square here, right? And I imagine, like, the Jagati are probably, like, near the well. You're kind of, like, back towards the tavern more. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the well, the chieftain is kind of speaking to you. And then from, like, the side, right? So you guys are kind of in a line like this. And from the side, from another, like, alley, steps out this giant, kind of amorphous, cancerous-looking hog. And it is frothing at the mouth. Its eyes are red and glowing. And it's just like, it starts to kind of just like snarl and look at the square. And everybody's just like, what is going on? How would you respond in the moment?
So is everyone now paying attention to the hog now?
Yeah, there's definitely well, actually, you know what? Make a steal test. That's what this is.
Probably. Amon probably has to do that too, right?
Yeah, Amon, make a steal test.
Bro, I cut up bodies, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you probably have a high
is
steal.
this
So
I ain't
pig
afraid
the
of no
result of
pig.
your? Is this pig the result of your mistakes, Amon?
it's an
I don't
interesting
know.
guess.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Steel. Okay, so what am I rolling? Steel.
Yeah, so steal. Let's see.
I have 4 steel.
Me too.
I feel like I should have like 10.
So, what does it say your hesitation is?
6.
Is that good or bad?
It's like the base steal test roll you're making.
Mine just went up to 7. It had just said 1 a minute ago.
Yeah, because it's based on it's on the base. There are things that can modify it, but you just would have had the base. So 7 and 6. Yeah, put the ob for the steal test as whatever your hesitation is +1.
Oh,
because this is like a.
That's high, dude. Do I have to do this too?
Yes, but also right.
Isn't that literally impossible to pass?
So 6 is automatically open end with steal test, so it's always possible because you could keep rolling 6s. But this is more about who hesitates the longest. Right? Because everyone's probably going to hesitate here.
Yeah.
But so this is their steal test.
Can we fork in stuff?
No. Yeah.
No after dice. And
so what do I do? No advantages.
And put the ob as 8 for you.
Oh my god.
And 7 for me.
Yep.
Conditional obs?
Nope.
I got 2.
I got 0.
Oh yeah. Sorry. That's because I didn't take off your wound. So it was still counting as if you had a wound. Do it again. Because it was like, you might be incapacitated. It's like, you don't have enough dice to do this.
So 2 versus 8 is better than 2 versus 7, right?
No, it's the same amount of hesitation. Or actually, no. You're right. No, you're wrong. It's actually worse because.
But the ob was higher.
Everyone. Okay, so this is what happens.
I had a higher ob.
So the way it works though is how many you have over this amount of successes you had. That's the number of beats you hesitate. So you actually hesitate a beat longer than everybody else. Amon.
That doesn't make any sense. I kill people for a living. 5
moments. Yeah. Well. Do you have a trait for this? I don't think you do. You have thick skin.
Thick
but
skin.
But thick skin is about people doing social skills against you.
I have an evil barber cousin.
Yeah, I don't think so. Even you are terrified by the sight of a cancer hog, magical cancer hog.
That actually is probably true.
Did you miss the description of this, Seth? Did you get it? Okay.
It's probably different, but it's the first thing I thought of was the opening of Princess Mononoke.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know what that is.
Oh man, it's this weird giant monster hog thing.
Yeah. So, the way this turns out, you guys hesitate for the same amount of time. So I think basically is like the hog will be able to do something if it wants to, but the rest of you are going to hesitate basically the same amount of time. Yeah, this is the question. What does the hog want to do?
You know what?
Me and Amon are farthest away. Right?
I don't think I think it should not kill me because I created it.
The things that are closest to it, the things that are closest to it are the Jugati holding Penny.
I think I should be able to learn how to command the pigs. I'm just kidding.
You can try.
I have animal husbandry.
I am gonna try.
My expertise is horses, but
I think what I'm gonna do here first.
Wait, didn't my cousin tell me like weird stuff happens when you feed him to pigs?
Weird stuff. Basically, he said weird stuff has been happening with animals.
Okay,
recently.
So I'm gonna catch on to that.
Yeah, you'll catch on to it as soon as you gain your wits again. I'm gonna find. Yeah, here we go. It's a good stat block for this. That would work. Yeah, here we go. Okay. I'm gonna make a roll here. Nice. Wow, that was a really good roll for it. So, it got 5 successes, which the thing is, what it's doing is it's attacking the Jagati that are currently holding Penny, and they can't do anything because they hesitated, right? So basically, this just means he slaughtered, like the hog slaughters them, right? So it just charges them and just starts just ripping them in half, like with it has these huge tusks and it starts just goring them and ripping them in half. I need to make a roll for Penny too, to see how long she.
Yeah, why don't they kill her?
Well, I mean, they might. She might die here if she. Wow, she actually has a pretty good steal. Yeah, I mean, she hesitates the least out of any of you. So I'm going to say that she manages to get out of this because, I mean, there are Jagati closer to the hog than she is, right? So literally it's like this horrific scene. This like magical cancer hog just is ripping these Jagati to shreds, and then like she's screaming and crying, and she manages to stumble away and like stumble just off to the side enough that the hog isn't paying attention to her. And I think at that there's a moment where it's just like ate one of them, like just took a big, like literally just ate its head, ate one of the Jagati's head, just like a watermelon, like in one bite, just like, and blood just gushing out of the guy's neck.
That's not how that works.
It's not how it works.
It doesn't. Blood doesn't gush like that, like the movies.
It doesn't gush when you rip off his head in one bite. I imagine you would at least do that for one.
But not.
I think there'd
like
be
that.
a couple of good pumps through the arteries.
Well,
Man, that guy had high blood pressure.
It does.
That's true. Honestly, at this point, like I think I'm gonna frame this way. It literally is like whatever was happening with this guy. He had a very high blood pressure, and so it's literally it's like jets that are. And there's actually there's like an actual reason for why that is. But
I love that.
So that happens, and then
I'm just talking about realistic biology.
I'm glad you mentioned it.
As there's a magic giant monster pig. I'm like, but wait, that's not how blood works.
No. I appreciate that sort of thing because unless there's a magical thing going on, I want it to work like real life physics. And turns out there was a magical thing going on. So it takes this bite off this guy's head, blood's gushing everywhere, and then it looks at Penny, right? It notices that Penny is now, it's close. She managed to stumble away enough that she didn't get in the initial carnage, but that's the moment where you and the chieftain and whatever the other Jagati that were with him come back to reality. Amon a second later, and I think before we see what happens there, let's cut to Silas. Right? So Silas, you are currently hiding in your meat locker, right?
I am.
Where are you just hiding behind some of the hanging carcasses? Is that what you said?
I think I have like a bag of salt in there, like an empty bag, and I'm like, got the bag over me. It's a big old bag.
Okay, you're trying to hide. Let's have you make a roll for that.
Oh, great. My favorite thing to do.
Unless you did that already. No, I don't think.
I don't think so. I rolled for the mending the business, but not.
Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put stealthy in here as a.
Oh, Great.
Should be learned
Me
skill.
trying to
So
do
go ahead.
things I can't.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to be rolling observation, and they don't have that either. So,
Oh, okay.
So put your ob as 0.5
Cool.
because they only got one success in their observation.
Oh.
There you go. Perfect.
Period.
Well, okay, so Ty goes to the defender. Yeah, you're the defender in this case, so that makes sense. Yep. Cool. So you managed to hide. I mean, I think, Silas, you get to the point where you're like, okay, no one's going to come in here. Like, you feel like you're pretty safe. Are you literally just going to stay there the whole time? Is that your plan?
See, like, I could do that, but also that's, like, kind of boring.
Well, I mean, let's look at your beliefs and instincts and traits and stuff, right? Like,
right, I said I would use Jagati to take advantage of them, but the problem is, like, that was when they were just they weren't killing everyone, and also that was before my brother died.
Honestly, yeah, looking at your stuff, I feel like you would probably just stay hiding.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah. Okay, so I think none of the Dragati come in, right? But I think what happens is, I know what happens. Let me try this. Perfect. Okay, awesome. So Silas, you're hiding, right? And you feel pretty safe. You're like, all right, no one's coming in. Like, I think I can just probably wait this out. And you, how are you hiding? You said you're like in a bag.
Yeah, I'm in a bag, like a burlap potato sack type.
Okay,
something.
sounds good. And I think you didn't hear. Well, actually, I'll make this roll too. Give me a second.
Okay.
Make a perception test. Give me an
ob 8. Is ob what?
It's gonna be an ob 8 because technically this is like you making. Actually, wait, yeah, don't roll a perception test. Roll a being learned observation.
Oh,
because that's actually what's happening here. And then put the ob as 4.
Gotcha. Ob is 4. Okay. Nope.
Of course, yeah. Nice. You can get a challenging. Well, you didn't need a challenging perception. Never mind. So, Silas, I think what happens is you're so focused on like hiding that the opposite of what you were like someone sneaks up on you without you noticing. And suddenly, literally in your ear, like wherever your ear is pressed up against the burlap sack, you hear a whisper say, "Silas." I assume you just like freak out.
Yes. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. And then you get manhandled.
I'm like trying to get out, but I'm in a sack and I'm struggling.
Exactly. You get manhandled and then poured out of the sack, right? And standing there we recognize him as Amon's cousin, right? His evil barber cousin.
God.
I don't know if you've met him before. He's pretty secretive, so I don't think you have.
Right.
But he bears a passing resemblance to Amon. He seems rather, he seems pretty. He would seem agreeable, except for the context that you're meeting him in. His agreeableness does seem rather creepy because of the context. But I think he looks at you and he says, "What are you doing hiding in here, Silas?" And you don't even know who this guy is. You're like, "What?" What do you do?
People were literally being attacked. Yes, that's why I'm hiding.
Interesting. And he looks out of the like meat locker to the main shop, like
if there's a door open. He probably like opened the door when he came in, so like he gets a clear view and he sees you. He glances out and you can, if you look at where he's glancing, you can see that your brother's still like lying there, an arrow in his back, right? In the shop part of the building, and he says, "I see you didn't make it. What a pity."
Yes, very
Exactly
sad.
you.
So who are you?
What did I say this guy's name was?
I don't remember.
I probably wrote it in the chat, didn't I? Let's find this. Lycus? Does that sound familiar?
Lycus?
No, that's someone else. Cassandros? Did I not give this guy a name?
Who's Nestor?
I don't think Nestor is. I think
Dismas. No.
nah.
Was Nestor my
Dismas
brother?
is the guy that I killed, right?
Yeah.
Who's Galgalus? Oh, that's old.
Yeah, it's the older one.
Oh.
Maybe
you
it
know
was
what,
like
whatever.
this. I don't know.
New name!
Jim.
I'm not gonna give him a name. I'll just say
he'd just be secret. Secret.
Oh, maybe
Arian?
that's what it was. It was a
his name
secret.
Arian.
Aryan Brotherhood.
Right.
He probably wouldn't tell me his name anyway.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't.
I don't know.
Yeah. He says. So you said, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And he says, "A man who knew your father."
Okay. A lot of people in this town did know my father. So what are you doing here?
I'm here to offer you a proposition.
What is it?
Do you want your business to do well, Silas?
Well, I am doing decent. And unfortunately, now that my brother's gone, it will start to do even better. So I don't know.
What if I was to tell you that I was the one who orchestrated all of this? Gave you this situation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that means everything's done now, isn't it? There's nothing else to do, right?
Consider this a promise or a threat, depending on how you want to put it. I have given you this success, and I can take it away. If you want to remain successful and increase that success, if you want to live a life of comfort and luxury, I have something for you to be a part of. It was something your father was a part of. And I believe that with your help, we can go even farther. People trust you, see? They didn't trust your brother as much as easy as he was to manipulate. Do you know my cousin, Aman?
I would know him, wouldn't I?
Yeah, he's like the town doctor, basically.
Yes, I know Amon.
He is part of my organization, and we
Putting all
want
my
to work
business out
with
there.
you. And we want to work with you.
What is this organization?
A like-minded brotherhood of individuals who want to change the world.
Change the world. That's a lot. That's a big thing. I'm just selling meats. Do you really want me in this?
All I want you to do, Silas, is to continue selling meat. and not ask very many questions about where it comes from.
Oh. Okay.
Do we have an accord?
I think I can do that.
Very good. Very good. I'll be in touch, Silas.
Okay.
And then he just walks out.
Well,
Does Silas just go back to hiding?
I think so.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. So we cut back to Magic Hog and Eastador.
Magic hog. Hey, let's cook up this hog.
You see the hog about to attack Penelope. What do you do?
I am riding my horse forward to grab her.
Okay, so you want to just try to grab her and not face the hog. You're just gonna like try to get her out of the way.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the only things I have are the clothes on my back. So
It's true. It's very, very true. Cool. So let's have you make a writing test, probably.
yeah. And maybe
Um,
speed. Something with speed.
I think it's gonna be a writing test versus its speed.
Okay. So riding, and I can add horsewise to that.
Yes.
And that's probably all. That's probably all that I can learn. Or,
Okay.
Add to it. Yeah. So do riding with 1 fork.
Say you're Obbit 3, because you technically have to get like 2.5 or whatever, but because it's
Bob
making a
at 3.
speed test, but that's only a stat, and skills are better than stats, so you'll get basically it's doing like an untrained sprinting test or whatever it is. So yeah,
Bob is at 3.
but yes.
Bob is what I'm going to say.
Okay, sounds good. I was curious if you were like saying that to be funny or.
Yeah, I was like, did he mean to say Bob?
Okay.
I am saying Bob because it's base obstacle.
Oh,
There's
I
2
see.
words in what the
Oh, I like
Very nice.
that.
What's the
so-
Bob?
So Isidore, you have a chance still to succeed here. You can spend a fate point on one of those failed dice, and you have basically a 50-50 chance of getting another success, which would make you succeed. Otherwise,
That's
you just
it.
fail.
Yeah, I'll reroll.
Cool.
So just click the dice next to fate.
Yep. And put
And-
1 ob and 1 die. Yeah.
No one die.
There you go.
Hey!
Perfect. That's all you need. So we see you at the last second clutch Penelope, and what she probably does is she's stumbling away, and then she looks back and is just like screaming as this thing is attacking her, and then
Mhm.
you just ride over, and she's probably like holding her arms like this to like whatever, and you like
Mhm.
you do the awesome riding move where you like are
Mhm.
almost off of the horse and you're like
Yeah.
hanging down, and then you just scoop her up in one arm and then like get back up, and then you ride away like onto the other side of the square, and then the hog
Mhm.
like ends
I'm
up.
trying to decide if.
Yeah.
I want to do a thing, but I don't think it fits with my
Yeah.
beliefs and instincts.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, as you like ride past, probably like the next thing that happens is
Yeah.
the hog like is like, ah, crap, like my prey is in there, and then realizes that Amon is like right in his line of sight, and then he's gonna go for Amon instead. And Amon, you get control of your faculties right as you realize the hog isn't actually now charging you. What do you do?
What do I do? What are my options? I can run. I can
Run or fight?
run again.
I mean, keep in mind, Amon, you're a serial killer butcher.
Not
This
I
might be
don't
your
fight-
arch nemesis.
I don't fight giant pigs, crazy pigs.
But I mean, Amon, I think you realize this is your fault. Like you can see, and you're like, oh,
I want to try to control him. I want to be like, stop. I want to yell at him. Yeah, but I don't know if I can.
I mean, let's look at your skills and stuff. Right?
I don't have any skills for that. None. I just want it to be magical.
Yeah, I don't think you have any like magic things.
I'm just gonna kill it then. I'm butchering.
You want to stab it?
Yeah, I'm fighting him. I'm fighting him.
Okay.
I'm not stabbing him. I'm gonna slit it. I'm gonna jump on its back and slit its throat.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
I think you're still gonna be rolling knives no matter what, but you can fork in a bunch of stuff for sure.
All
right. So you can fork in anatomy.
Knives. Yes.
Bloodletting.
Yes.
Butchery. Guts wise. And knives wise.
Amen.
Okay, so that's 5 extra dice there. Let's see. I'm gonna roll for it. This is its roll. You're opposite 3.
Oh, its thing's going down, man. Let's go.
Very nice. So, I mean, would you like to describe for us how you butcher this thing?
All right, so it comes charging at me.
Yeah, it's charging at you.
And everybody else is screaming, having run away or trying to start running away, or they already so it comes at me, and then in slow motion, you just see like me jump, grab its horns, and spin, and get on its back, and just whoosh, cut its throat. It's awesome.
Like what is it? I think it's does Anakin do that in Attack of the Clones when the bull is coming towards him in the arena, and he just kind of grabs and swings himself.
Right. Yep. Yeah. I imagine probably what happens the first Amon is probably not an immediate like kill, mainly because it has all these like weird cancerous blobs on it, right? And so you cut, but like your knife doesn't go quite deep enough to just instant like slit its throat or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so it probably like, it's probably like this struggle where you're like just, and it ends up being where like you manage to like, it kind of like kind of trips on itself as it's bucking all over the place. And like, you're like wrestling with it in the dirt. And then you just keep like stabbing it over and over and over again until it just finally just like bucks.
So I'd imagine this being like a funny scene actually. So like it's slow motion and it looks like, oh yeah, he got it. And then you see the realization in my face, like, oh, this thing's not dead. And then it goes to the crazy scene of me trying to kill it.
Yeah. But yeah, you manage to just eventually stab it, and it eventually dies. And I think at that point, what happens though, Amon, is its eyes, right, have been glowing, and suddenly the eyes just like, I think go to smoke, right? It's just like it almost as if like the fire burned out, and then just like wisps of smoke just kind of curl from its eyes.
That's creepy.
And then its mouth kind of like its jaw unhinges a bit, and the mouth kind of like lies open, and this like red mist kind of like vomits out from it, and comes towards you. Do you want to make a seal test for me?
What comes towards me? The red mist?
It's like kind of weird ephemeral red mist.
That's so weird. Okay.
Yeah. So steel test to like be able to react.
Okay. So no forks.
Yeah, no forks, and I think it's gonna be the same situation, right? It's gonna
7?
be ob 8.
8
altogether. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
4.
Yeah. So you don't. I mean, you hesitate long enough that it goes right at you. I'm trying to think of what it's actually gonna do here. Let me take a look at what actually is happening here.
It freaking possesses me. Sorry if that's a bad word.
Demons.
Another throat possession.
I want it to possess me.
You want it to possess you?
Well, it's because I don't care about this character. Like, he's not me.
Right, I see.
But I think it'd be cool that it...
And then that's an epic thing to be out there in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But aren't there more of these pigs, too?
No, so this is the thing, right? This is...
Legion.
Basically what happened in canon was...
This is like one it's like made up of all the pigs.
It was like eating all the other pigs, right? This is like the
Oh.
pig who won the fight.
Yeah.
And ate all the other
Legion.
pigs. Yeah. I'm trying to just figure out exactly what I'd have to roll here to possess you. Possession. No, here we go. Ooh, okay, so it's gonna make a roll to try to possess you. So Amon. Wait, actually, I'm gonna do one more. Oh, nice. Of course, this is the one time I don't have it all automatically open end. Is when I keep rolling sixes. Okay, so it's gonna be 3. 3 is your ob. I don't know. What would you be using to resist possession?
Well, I'm trying to
think?
resist it. How about will?
Yeah, that's probably what it would be. Yeah,
I
so
think
set
it would have to be
op 3,
will.
probably.
Do I know anything about possession?
I don't think you do. No, you
All
don't
right.
have any skills about it. So
Health, so no help, no Artha. Base op 3.
oof. Okay, so you can spend a fate if you want to. There's no sixes, but you can spend it 1 fate, and it would be a 1 in 12 chance because you'd have to get a 6 and then another success.
No, I want him to get possessed. So
Okay, sounds good. Mark your difficult test on will there. And yeah, so what happens is it goes probably, just into your face. And then you shudder for a moment and then your eyes go red.
nice.
But let's see, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I think there's a moment where there's like a minute maybe where your body is still reacting to the being possessed, and so your eyes are glowing red. But after that minute, it's going to go away, and you're going to go back to normal, basically, except, you're not possessed. But if Isidore, for example, notices in that minute that, like, your eyes are glowing red, he might want to do something about it, but that's kind of like the current situation. So, Isidore, you right away, right, with her in tow. And I think what happens, though, is because of the way the map is working, like, you're going to have to ride basically towards where the chieftain is, right? And so he ends up being right there, and he's going to try to just, like, chop. He's starting to twitch more violently, and he's going to try to, like, chop off the legs of this horse. So I want you to make a riding test in response to his axe test to basically, like, make sure the horse can navigate out of the way of the thing.
Epic. Can I fork in my horsewise?
Yes. Your job is 3. Ooh.
Oh.
0 successes. Dang. That's not good. Well, you could spend a fate if you wanted to, but it would be a very unlikely probability of you succeeding. I mean, like, failure here is like the horse's legs get chopped out from under you, and you guys biff it, and probably take a light wound, both of you, as you biff it into the dirt.
Can I try to stab his face while we're falling down?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, failure on the riding test is just like you don't have control of yourself or the horse, and it just blah everywhere. So I mean, yeah, he just chops out the legs from this horse, and it just like biffs it in the dirt, and it just squeals in this high pitched, just horrifying squeal, and you guys get thrown, biff it into the dirt, and you take a light wound, and then yeah, Peyton's in chat, and he had a good point. Make a steel test. When you get injured, you make a steel test. So to see how quickly you recover from this light wound that you've just gotten.
Epic. Okay, so no advantages.
And it's just going to be your base hesitation this time, so just a 6. Oof, yeah, you hesitate hardcore. And then I'm going to do...
Epic.
Same for her.
Short-lived.
Yeah, this is bad.
Short-lived moment of hope there.
Okay, so she doesn't hesitate quite as long.
Why is this woman doing better than me?
I don't know. No clue, Thomas.
That's because I'm drunk.
Yeah, probably. Let's see.
Or buzzed. I don't think I made it to fully drunk.
Yeah, that's true. So then, yeah, she gets a light wound too. Let me go ahead and put that in your sheets. Boo, boo, boo. Okay. You biff in the dirt, steel test, and the guy walks over to you, Isidore. And I think he's not going to try to kill you right off. I think he's in kind of, and you can tell he's twitching really violently. He's not in control of his faculties, probably either body or mind. And I think he just starts laughing over you with his axe raised. He's just like, and Amon, you've killed the pig. You see this situation. You could probably stop this if you wanted to.
But I'm possessed.
Yeah. Sure.
It doesn't matter?
Actually, make a steel test. Make a steel test to see how long it actually takes you to like get control of your faculties after you're possessed.
Oh, so it's not like a possession like where that demon or whatever is controlling me completely.
I mean, you have the possessed trait now, which is like its own trait with things that happen.
Oh. Okay. Hesitation 8 or 7?
It's gonna be an 8 this time, yeah, as well. Yeah.
Oh.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I think you have enough time. Yep. You only hesitate for one moment. Basically.
All right. I'll save him.
Okay. Cool. Make a knives test, I guess.
I always got to kill stuff, man.
I mean, it's kind of what you built your character to do.
Who am I killing now?
Whoa.
Who or what?
Yeah. The chieftain of like the war.
Oh
band.
yeah, that'll make him happy.
Yeah, and your ob is only 1.
Oh, he's dying.
He completely biffed his roll.
So I get 5 forks, right? That's the typical for this.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Yeah, nice. This is the fun part about playing a character who's really good at one thing, is when you get to do that thing, you just keep succeeding over and over again. Cool. Yeah. So I think this is probably we're kind of winding down. This is like the climax of the session, right? It's we get this moment where Isidore, you're like, this is it. I tried everything I could do. Like, and then you maybe just give in to despair for a moment, right? Where you're just like, all right, this is it. I guess this is done. Like, I don't even know what to do at this point. And then the guy, he's laughing hysterically, and then suddenly a giant, like, butcher's knife is just like, or, you know, not necessarily butcher's, like, cleaver, but, like, a giant knife just, like, sticks out through his rib cage, you know, through his chest.
The eucatastrophe happens enacted by the psychopathic serial killer.
Exactly.
We'll have to think about what that means another time.
Exactly. Yeah. Who's now possessed by a demon. And then he just gurgles and then falls to the dirt, axe clanging. And then I think Penny like throws her arms around you, Isidore, and just cries. Just sobbing and wailing. Yeah, I mean, what does the epilogue of this look like?
Well, there's still other.
I think like at this point they see the chieftain just got killed, and the rest of them kind of run off, right? I think this is definitely epilogue stuff. The Jagati raid is finished, but basically I'm just curious about like how you guys handle the cleanup and what you do with that stuff. I mean, the captain of the guard, the tax collector, and the guy who's kind of in charge of the town are like bloodied and bruised, almost like near death, tied to the back of these horses, right? I mean, Amon, you could do something about that. You're the town doctor.
I feel like I don't care. I do care because I want to keep up appearances, but I don't care if they die.
I mean, Amon, you could certainly just pretend to try to care for them and let them die. Yeah, very true. Is that what you want to do?
I don't. Amon does.
Amon does, yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for clarification.
So I think what happens, right,
go
is
fake it. I'm gonna just kill him.
Yeah,
Let him
I mean, you probably do the whole thing where you're like, help me, like I need people to help me with these people, and then some people come out of their shops, like like whoa, is this done? Like, we okay now? And then they help you get the people to the to your barber shop or whatever. And honestly, like these three people, no one likes these people, and so I feel like they're not only like impressed by your, you know what? I want you to make a roll here.
Yeah.
Make a falsehood roll.
Okay.
To get like be sincere about it, right? Or at least maybe people think you're sincere about it.
Can I fork in villager wise?
You can't fork because it's a being learned.
Oh.
Yeah.
Base ob what?
I think it's gonna be a base ob 3, but add a bonus and add advantage die.
I think I did it wrong.
Here, yeah, I'll just roll another die for you.
Sorry.
That's right. You're fine.
Why does it say? Oh, it doubles it because
it does. Yeah, exactly. So you got 2 6s. It's honestly kind of possible to succeed on this if you spend 2 fate.
What you have 2 6. I'm sorry.
It's actually almost it's kind of probable that you might succeed on this because you have 2 6s, and if you spend 2 fate, you'll get to reroll 3 dice.
All right, do it.
So yeah, do the little fate button, and put in 4 remaining ob and 3 dice. Close, but no cigar. So I think what this means, so it's not that the people think you're a serial killer now, Amon. It's that you could have had more of a reputation as like a really kind individual if you had managed to convince them that you cared about these people, but it's basically just like, okay, Amon hates them just like everyone else, right? Because nobody likes these people. They're not going to hold it against you necessarily. You're not going to get a better reputation because of this situation, but
it's not going to hurt me.
It's not going to necessarily hurt you, yeah. And so
the villagers will remember this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nope.
We see you take these people into your shop, and I think honestly one of them, like I think the tax collector just dies of his wounds in the meantime, right? Like as you're trying to get to him. The captain of the guard, you probably try to save him first, and you kill him, right? You just like stab him.
Yeah.
And then you go to the last guy who is like the guy in charge of town right now. And he wakes up momentarily. like you're getting ready to like kind of butcher him, right? And he wakes up and like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This guy's like kind of weaselly, skinny, old, middle-aged, balding. And he like grabs your shirt and he's just like, what are you doing? Please.
I kill him. Slice his throat.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Do I have to roll for that?
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
he dies.
And so I think the thing that I want, we do need to follow up quickly with Amon, is that girl saw you.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I think she does? So Isidore, what do you do with Penny in the aftermath? Like, I assume you help her in some way or another.
Yeah, maybe kind of cleaning up the tavern a little bit, sort of thing. I think I would want to begin conversations with kind of the men of the village and be like, we need to be more prepared.
Yeah.
I see the chieftain is dead, so we probably have a little bit of time to where we don't have to worry about specifically them, but like we need to be able to protect ourselves on a certain level.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe in the midst of kind of just sort of helping, clean things up, I'd also, sort of be starting those sorts of conversations.
Okay. I mean, it seems like a role to me. I feel like it's probably...
And not necessarily specifically about like fortifications of the, like, obviously that'd be a part of it, but just generally like...
Yeah, we need to step up as men.
We need to be, skilled in our own, being able to combat, and then also the protection of like, this is, our, measly town guard, has done terribly. I think I'd even have conversations about like, Amon, though he's the he's our our town doctor. He's also pretty good in combat as well. He'd probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably Isidore
too.
trying to like set up a new regime, more or less. Because I mean, literally, the people in charge of the town died. They're all dead. Like something new is going to have to happen here. Like obviously, Alpheus is technically in charge of the town, but someone's going to need to take over
Who's
his
Alpheus?
absence.
That's
Alpheus
my
is
actual character.
Chad's actual character from. So this is
okay.
the village that he's from and is like officially the representative of. But I think what you're doing is you're rolling an ugly truth. Which is a skill even though you don't have it, it's technically I think it's possible you succeed on this because it's actually so ugly truth is the obs aren't based on people's wills, it's based on like the complexity of the truth that you're trying to get across. And honestly, I feel like this is stating the obvious worst possible outcome, right? You're like, if we don't step up, we're gonna die next time, right? I think this is pretty easy for Isidore to pull off. He's in a pretty good position because he's like one of the only people who did anything about it. He's in a good position to get the men to step up, but it's still not something he usually does, right? So so I think what you're doing is I'll go ahead and add this skill you're being learned here, but you're going to do an ob 1 ugly truth test, but it's going to double to 2, so it's still going to be mildly difficult.
And no advantages or anything?
No.
Oops. Wob 1, you said?
Yeah, 1. Yep. There you go. Whoa, nice. All the successes. Whoa, you got 3 6s. Your result was 4 6 6 6. Uh-oh. Demons.
Caesar Nero.
I know exactly. So I think Isidore
I am become Caesar Nero.
I mean kind of Isidore is basically going to set up like a patriarchal town militia leadership sort of situation, right?
And I want it to be clear. because
Let me be clear.
My character obviously has no idea about the truth behind things. But if Amon is willing, he is also very much a part of like helping us learn combat and being able to do that sort of stuff.
That's so crazy.
No, I think you say that, and so I think what actually happens, Isidore, is you're explaining this in the tavern, right, as you're like helping clean up and stuff, and the men are like, oh yeah, you're totally right, like this is something we need to do, like absolutely, yeah, Amon needs to step up, and like he can probably train us, and with knives, it seems like he knows how to use them, like this is great, we can actually do something about this now. These people feel like they have a backbone, and then a small girl walks up to you, Isidore, and then like pulls on your sleeve. And she just looks up at you like shyly, like she doesn't say anything, but she's just like trying to get your attention.
Mm-hmm. So once I'd kind of notice, I think I'd maybe it takes a couple times, and then I finally like look and I notice, and I kind of, like what and I kind of kneel down. I'm like, I don't know if I know who this girl is in particular, but I kind of kneel down. And I'm like. What's the matter? Did your parents die? Did they die in the attack?
So blunt.
And her lip starts to quiver, and she just nods.
I'd kind of, if she would be receptive, I'd kind of console her, and then I think I'd also wave over Penny.
Right. Yeah. I'm sure Penny would help out too. So I think what I want you to do is roll a soothing platitudes test. Okay. That's what you're doing. And this is going to determine whether or not she feels comfortable enough to tell you more.
Oh man.
Right.
Okay. No helper advantages.
Actually, wait a second. Actually, let me check something.
Although I would argue for an advantage because of Penny being there.
Well, I was going to say Penny actually has the skill. She actually has soothing platitudes. So I think I'm going to have her make that instead, and you can...
You find out the truth, I'm going to kill you.
I don't know if... unless you have like a skill you can...
Is Amon in the tavern right now?
I don't think so, right?
I don't know. Where am I?
No, I think he's back treating them, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm at my house.
Let's see. I'm just trying to think. I don't know if you have a skill here that actually like helps. Like you can obviously you can call over Penny and she can make this the roll, but I don't think you can actually help her with this. Unless you have an argument for one of those skills.
And a being learned thing doesn't count?
Doesn't count, no. Yeah, it has to be one of the actual skills you have. Because like just the situation of you being there isn't enough necessarily to give a bonus die. I'm not seeing anything.
I don't think there's anything there.
Okay, cool. So soothing platitudes is her will. I think her will is a 2. It's usually standard for like a 1 life path child character. So she needs to get both successes. That didn't work. And I don't think she has and her fate point wouldn't even help. Oh, she still has a light. Oh, you know what? Let me do this first. We're gonna ignore that roll. I'm gonna have her make a health test to see if she can recover from her light wound first. Like she can shrug off the die penalty from that. And you honestly might as well do this too.
What am I rolling?
Your full dice. So you're gonna roll a health test. It's in attributes, and I'm gonna find the for you. And technically, you can get a light wound treated and get like bonus die for the health like recovery test, but you don't need to. A light wound is just kind of like something you can shrug off. And obviously, he's treating the guys anyway right now, so you probably wouldn't have anyone to help with that. So let's just do a recovery test, which means you're gonna make a OB 2 health test. So she succeeded on hers, so her light wound goes away. And you succeed on yours. Perfect. So I'll take that off your sheet too. And that might be helpful to you because you might be fighting again here in a second, depending on how this goes. So I'm going to roll the soothing platitudes again for her. Okay, so I'm gonna say she probably has at least one fate for the things that she's done in this session. So I think I'm just gonna let her spend a fate to reroll that failed dice, and we'll see if it works. It does. Perfect. Awesome. So she manages to soothe the girl enough that she stops like crying, and Isra, you're probably about to step away at this point because you're like, okay, sounds good. Penny's got this under control. She's better at this anyway. And you stand up and you like start to step away, and then you hear the girl whisper, "The doctor is a bad man." What do you say? What do you do?
Remember, you know nothing.
You know what?
I'd
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'd turn around and I'd be like, "What? He saves people's lives. He went out there and helped fight the bad people who took your parents."
The doctor is a bad man.
You're pretty good at these voices, dude.
Thanks.
What are you talking about? Why is the doctor a bad man?
I hid in my room, but he was there.
What? He was there in your room?
No, he was there in my house, and Daddy and Mom, and like she's run out of vocabulary to explain to you what happened, but like I think you kind of get the gist of it.
Yeah, but wouldn't he think
at least enough to like talk to Amon? You're like, whoa, like something's going on here.
Yeah. I'm sure he was probably in there because he saw the Jagati, and I'm probably talking.
You're almost talking to yourself at this point,
and talking a little bit over her head because it's like talking to kids.
Yeah.
He was probably in there because he was trying to save your parents. And I kind of like him looking to Penny as well in that moment. Does anybody else around hear that?
I don't think so. I think not in. I mean, as of
well,
yet.
I mean, I'm not necessarily keeping my voice down. Like I'm not just exclaiming.
Yeah, but I mean, what you said so far wouldn't necessarily immediately
Yeah.
be like someone would be like, wait, what? And they're trying to help, set up, and
Yeah.
they're probably grabbing some drinks and stuff and kind of pseudo celebrating their survival. But I mean, you could get a posse together,
Yeah.
or you could just go talk to him yourself.
I don't think I would have any reason to suspect him.
Yeah.
So
And
did she see me kill them?
Yeah.
But she didn't tell him that.
She can't she's reached the end of
I
her
under-
verbal abilities.
I
to,
understand. I understand what she's trying to say, but for
but
me,
you don't
it's
have any reason
like,
to believe it.
I don't have
necessarily.
any reason, and my mind is just basically like he was probably in there.
Yeah.
The Jagati were probably
Probably
in
just
there.
mistake.
Yeah, she's a little girl, and so I kind of like look to Penny, and I'm like, I mean, she's probably just in shock, right? Like,
Yeah, and I think Penny, like, she just kind of frowns and she says, I think so. I don't know. She's as confused as you are.
I mean, I don't know him very well, but he went out there. Who knows him? Who knows him on? And I kind of say that a little bit more like,
Yeah.
you know, like who knows Amon pretty well.
So I have a question real quick because we haven't picked up with so Silas. Did he come out after like? Are we? Because this is epilogue stuff, right? Like this is.
I assume.
Yeah. So would you be in this room? Probably. Would you have been part of this conversation? Like when Isidore was talking about like, hey, we need to step up and like protect our town.
Yes.
Like, were there any?
I mean, where else would you be?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
probably
the town is kind of gathered here.
Yeah, and I imagine probably for the most part, you know, maybe there's some stragglers helping fix up different things, but I think probably for the most part, we're kind of moving place to place generally together.
Sure. Yeah, because I'm thinking like we see Silas in the corner, like kind of haunted slightly, like man, like that guy wants to give you like I don't know what I just signed up for sort of thing. But I mean, you know him on. So I mean, just to make the story everything be a little bit more connected, I feel like you would be probably the one who'd be like, yeah, I know I'm on. If that makes sense to you.
I know I'm on.
And I kind of like, you know, wave you over. So the little girl here,
because he worked with your father before, right?
OT. Yeah.
is he a good man?
So you were just told by his cousin, we're gonna give you. Amon is part of the secret.
Yeah, you have to lie.
and we're gonna give you meat that you can't ask questions about,
or else you die.
You know he's connected to that at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
You as a person have never had any reason up to now to suspect Amon, but you have at least have that going around in your mind right now when he asks you that question.
So, gonna say. I don't know him too well anymore, but he worked with my father, and my father was a good man.
So this little girl, Penny and I think it's probably just shock, but she said that during the chaos that happened that when her parents passed away, her parents were taken in all the chaos. And she said that she saw the doctor in her house, and she keeps saying that the doctor is a bad man. And from what I gather, she witnessed her parents' murder, and she thinks that Amon did it. My guess is probably the Jagati were in there, and he probably heard them and was in there at the same time, took out the Jagati or something like that. Let's go check her house. Like I'm sure that there's probably with her parents there. There's Jagati bodies there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure let's go there, and then let's go talk to Amon.
So Amon, question. That actually is a good point. Would you have found a Jagati body and dragged it in there?
But I didn't.
Well, that's the thing. We know Amon has gotten away with this so far, right? He's a good serial killer.
Yeah.
So like, I'm fine with you. Like, we'd probably make you make a roll, right? But like, if that's something that you think Amon would have thought of, we can have him have done that.
He would do that. Yes.
Okay. Let's have you make a speed test then, just to see if you had enough time in between everything to like do that.
Okay.
I think odds gonna be 2.
I finally found a possible narrative way.
I have another idea though. If this still works. Yeah, up to speed test.
I don't know. I'm trying to. Okay.
No. Okay.
I want to use a fate.
Time. Do you want to use the fate point?
Yeah.
You have 1 left.
I don't want him to know. What do I do? Remaining ob 1?
Yeah, remaining ob 1 die.
Dang it.
No. Okay.
Oh.
So there is not a Jagati. So when you go, there is not a Jagati body there. And then Silas, I actually want you to make a roll here. would you make a guts wise roll for me? Because I think you would be able to, and you can fork in butchery to this.
Okay.
Because I think you could notice the way that these people were killed looks like they were butchered, as opposed to what the Jagati would do, right? Like there's a telltale way that butchers cut things that you could recognize. And let's have it be an ob 2 as well for this.
So you said guts wise.
This is guts wise with an advantage dice from butchery, I assume. Yeah.
Where? Oh, not Seerless. Silas. I was like, how does Silas have demonology? Did I get any forks? I'm sorry.
From butchery, I'd assume. Yeah,
okay.
Right? Like that makes sense.
Ob 3.
Ob 2.
2. My brain is somewhere else.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you succeeded. So, I mean, you don't know what it means, but that's what you see.
So we get in there, and there's no Jagati in there.
Yeah.
And like,
okay, so something's not adding up.
I mean, it I'm sure it's around here. So maybe he just pulled the bodies into the house. Maybe that.
Well, are her parents' bodies in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they were killed outside.
I didn't move those. I didn't do anything with those. I thought I.
You didn't say that you did.
Maybe
You didn't really
right.
have enough time, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, because then
and you were
maybe-
and you were like,
that
oh,
guy started banging on the door that you got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
maybe he pulled them in here. You know, maybe they were killed outside, and he pulled them in here. You know, to get away from bring the because he is a doctor, right? So he's going to respect. He's going to respect
Silas,
the bodies.
And Silas, you are looking at this and you see what Isidore doesn't see, and you hear what Isidore's saying, and you can tell at this point Isidore is just trying not to come to the right conclusion, right? He's making every excuse for this guy because he doesn't want him, and you're seeing it pretty clearly. You're like, okay,
but he's not allowed to say anything, right?
Yeah,
unless he chooses to. So after a few moments, I'm like, let's go talk to Amon and figure out.
Meanwhile, I have these two dead guys. I'm like,
yeah. So Silas, I mean, you don't say anything.
No.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you guys go in and talk to Amon.
And I think I'm trying to decide what level of suspicion I have.
Yeah.
Because basically trying to decide, do I just go the two of us or do I invite others? I would I think since we took the time to kind of go over here, I think there would be now kind of more people sort of in the street. And I think as we're going over there, I think I maybe wave one guy, maybe, one of my drinking buddies or something, just, someone that I'm a little more familiar with, maybe kind of wave him over. I'm like, hey, we're going to go talk to Amon, just to, talk about, what we needed, basically I'm just like, we come with me, we're going to go talk to Amon. And I would go to the door and I'd knock, but I'm not going to step in.
Okay.
I want to
obviously.
The plan is to kind of have the conversation sort of basically like, don't need to like walk him out, but sort of just like at the doorway, sort of at the front porch sort of thing, kind of with, there's another guy here. And then there's also people in the street.
Yeah. Yeah. So Amon, obviously you come out of your back room and answer the door, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay.
Who's there?
It's Isidore. We don't. I know we don't really know each other very well, but we were kind of, just me and you were out there when everything was going down.
Yeah. What's going on? How you doing?
Still, I mean, go. We got to move forward. But so there's this little girl, and I'm pretty sure I know what the she's a little girl, so she's in her parents seem to have been killed in the chaos of everything.
Isn't this my next door neighbor, Caleb?
Yeah, you know who he's
yeah,
talking
I
about,
know I know, but literally my next door neighbor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's her name? Sally or something? I'm like, you mean Sally?
Yeah, whatever her name is, yeah.
You mean Sally?
I'm like, yeah, I guess that's her name. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my neighbor's kid.
So she's in obviously in deep shock. Her parents died in the midst of everything, and she is in the midst of it. She seems to have seen you at her house with her parents, and seems to have. She thinks she's calling you. She's saying the doctor man is bad. That it. I saw you out there fighting the Jagati, but there wasn't any Jagati bodies in her house. So I was wondering, like, did you move her? Did they die outside and like you moved her parents' bodies into the house, or like? Well, I mean, unless you just weren't there, like she says she saw you.
Okay, question.
And I guess since you know her, so I think she would know you. It seems that she would know you. So, but she's a little girl, so it's
okay. Who's here? Just him and Seth?
Yeah.
And then there's another guy kind of behind us.
Oh, there's another guy.
Did you brought one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say
so
he is like.
But do I know that Seth is my homeboy?
You don't know that he's part of the. You don't know that your cousin came and talked to him. No.
My cousin should have freaking told me, man.
So the other thing is also, I think the guy that you brought is probably the only guard that you liked, that like you got along with in any sense of the word. So that's probably who it was.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, so
yeah, maybe
and
maybe part of why I grabbed him was I kind of know him a little bit, and he's I'm kind of thinking like this guy's a little bit more of an experienced person who should be in the know of the more sort of like in leadership sort of
exactly
is probably my thought was.
Mm-hmm.
Is okay. So here's the thing: I'm gonna either have to try to lie, right, or I can try to tell the truth in like. If I tell the truth in a deceitful way, is that still falsehood role?
It really depends on what you're saying. Looking at your skills, like no matter what, you're going to be rolling something that you don't have, right? You don't have any social skills at all. So you're either going to be doing some sort of nefarious thing here, or you're going to be lying.
Killing them. Or killing them.
I mean, I
Am I
included that
to
in
kill
the
him?
nefarious thing. You can just stab him if you want. The thing is, like, you're part of this organization that wants to.
I know. I don't want to
right?
kill him.
Yeah.
But I can't. If I lie, he's gonna know. Or maybe I'll lie and he's gonna know. And then he'll be like, "Well, we still need this guy on our side,"
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I do. I say, how about me and you talk in private?
You see from behind you, Amon, the guard, just like his eyes harden.
Could I roll?
And then I look at him like, what?
What? Yeah, Tom.
Could I roll and assess, which is something that I'm learning? can I fork in a skill into a
Not
role
into being
of something
learned.
that I'm learning?
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I know.
Because I was
What are you trying to do?
Maybe authority-wise, maybe is, but I'm
Right, to do what exactly? Just to like tell that this is sketchy?
kind of.
What do you want to arrest me?
My thought with authority-wise was also thinking more like in how I understand kind of structures and how an authority would do things, and if it was a more like lieutenant, let's talk in private, sort of deal.
Right.
So in this
or something
society,
more.
like, do you believe kids, or are
Oh,
adults'
that's a good
words more
question.
like you just ask the adult, and if they say something else, you trust the adult?
I mean,
what is it, Game Master?
Say it again. I'm confused.
Like in this society, like, so in America,
Mm-hmm.
it's different now. But like, if a kid says, "Oh, my teacher," they tell their parent, like, "Oh, my teacher said," or teacher calls home and says, "Your kid's an asshole." Sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're okay.
Your kid's being a jerk in my class.
Yeah.
And then the parent asks their kid, and the kid's like, "No, I wasn't." And in America, the parent's like, "Well, my kid said they didn't do it, so they didn't do it."
Right.
So do we trust kids, or do we trust adults?
Yeah, I mean,
Sinia?
this
And
is
kind of in biblical times, it's like, who cares what the kids
The
say?
kid's
Yeah,
not a person,
I think it's basically along those lines, probably. Which is probably why Isidore is treating it this way.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still real sketched for him to say, "Let's go talk in private," because there's nothing about that couldn't be good, right? Like if he wasn't there and didn't do it, then he could just say that right here, right now, and it wouldn't,
Yeah.
There's obviously something sketchy about this, and obviously Amon could roll something to try to lower his guard.
Did you try to save them? And I'm a.
You can say no.
Well, this is my response. I'm thinking like being a, unknowing of regular social manners. I'm just like,
yeah.
Did you try to save them and you failed, and you just want to, what are you? You don't want to talk about that in front of other people or something? I mean, we can just, it's just the four of us right here. We don't have to go talk in private. People aren't around listening.
Didn't I save your life?
You did. Yeah. I'm very grateful.
No, I was. No, I was asking.
That was not dialogue.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, no.
That would have been a passive aggressive thing to say in that moment.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like,
yeah,
I kind of want to say, I don't know. I kind of want to give him the vibe that I did do it, but I'm not gonna say I did it.
Right. So you almost want to just be like, "Yes, I did. What are you gonna do about it?" Like,
but I don't want to actually say it vocally.
Right. I know, but like, basically,
exactly.
your inclination is like basically saying like,
yeah,
there's nothing you can do to me to prove it. So sorry. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that's an intimidation check.
So seriously, I do say, I recall saving your life a couple hours ago, Isidore. You remember that?
I do. I'm very grateful.
You should be.
So literally, okay, yeah, wow. There's so much like context around that statement. Yeah, this is an intimidation check. You're trying to scare him into saying like, into being like, "Yep, sorry, there's nothing you can do about this." Like you gotta let it go.
What do I have to do?
We'll add it to being learned because you don't have it.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I should be able to, because he's already sketched out of me, and he's seen me kill so many people.
And can I? He's just gonna roll that against one of my.
It's gonna be against your will.
And do I have to roll, or is
You don't
he
have to
just
roll.
rolling
Yeah, it's
against?
just against
Okay.
your whatever your will stat like number is.
4.
So there's no way
I'm
you're
not
going to
gonna be
succeed
able
on
to do
this.
this.
But I mean, that's what you did, right? That's what you said. So let's roll it and see how close you get.
I'm gonna end up having to just kill him. Right there.
Turns out when you build a character with only combat skills or butchery things and no social skills, this is the sort of situation you find yourself in.
Base
Yes.
4.
Base out 4. Yep. Yeah. So, we can mark that.
So I know
Hey,
I now
You upgrade your will though.
Me?
Yeah. Your will is now 4.
Wow.
and so I
That's so
get
cool.
what he
Yeah.
just did.
You know exactly what he's threatening you with, but it doesn't scare you, right? Like you're not intimidated by it.
Yeah.
But he should be. I could.
So-
If he doesn't, that's foolish.
I mean, yeah. Since when is Eastador not? Is Eastador wise?
So what are you gonna pull out your sword, bro? I don't
I was
say
scared.
that. That's just me saying that.
I want to intimidate him back, and that's
Yeah.
his extra skill that I have.
Yeah, you actually have that skill. Yeah.
But his what I'd be rolling against may be higher than. I'm
I mean,
just trying to
now that
think
he
what
just
I
upgraded
say.
his will, yes.
Oh gosh, is it a 5 now?
It's a 4 now.
Or
4.
It was a 3
it's a
before.
4? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Is that possible with a 3 intimidation?
Not innately, but with Fate it would be.
Ooh, and we're at the end of the session.
Yeah, exactly. You have authority wise though too, which you could use there.
Oh yeah,
Depending on,
that's true.
and again, depending on how you frame
Well,
it.
I'm kind of taking authority in
Yep.
this
Yeah, exactly.
sort of town here.
You're trying to.
There's a new sheriff in town.
But if I kill you, I'm gonna tell everyone that you came to kill me, and I'm gonna take over the town. And I'm possessed. I'm possessed. So, hey.
I'm just so I know that I want to do an intimidation, forking authority wise.
Yep.
I'm just trying to decide what I say.
Yeah. Right. So basically, he threatened you with like, yeah, there's no way that like this. It seems pretty obvious. Yeah, she was right. I was there. I killed them, but there's nothing you can do about it because you have no real proof, and everyone loves me in this town. Like that was the insinuation in that simple phrase.
So okay.
This is gonna be the difference between Alpheus's town becoming a horrible cannibal demon place, or something actually admirable.
Oh man, okay. I know the thought that I have, and I'm just trying to think how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what I wanted to say is, oh man, I'm formulating it. I just got to figure it out. Oh man, okay. I think I'm just gonna go for not saying actual dialogue and just explains the idea. So I basically say like, my father once told me that a man who fights for something outside himself and greater than himself is able to give his life for something outside of himself, and he will do what it takes to reach that greater goal. But a man who's only for himself will always run by the skin of his teeth for his own skin on his back.
Yeah.
We've got a friend here who is a butcher, and he understands how meat is cut up. I'm from the military. We can conduct an actual investigation here. We could even bring in someone from the outside.
Seth, it's in your best
Also-
interest to butt in here, dude.
Also,
You
These
should
people-
be like, I don't have nothing to do. You should be saying something. Otherwise, you're gonna get killed by the assassins.
I am here fighting for this town. And if you are a threat, you need to be taken care of. And I have these men with me.
Who do you have?
Yeah. I think I would say, I'd
Yeah.
say, who do you have? Let's go talk privately.
Okay, yeah, intimidation time. Let's go. Do it. Man, you're literally just I am the new sheriff in town. That is exactly what's happening here. This is now a western.
Okay,
Actually, it was
intimidation.
Now
always a
I want to
western.
kill Isidore.
So intimidation, all
All four.
14 authority-wise.
Yeah, so 1 advantage die there, and then ob 4.
Basically, my character lives like it in a world that would exist if God didn't exist. If there were still people.
Yeah.
He's like,
And
oh,
what's the ob?
somebody I don't like, kill him.
4, right?
Ob is 4, yep.
No morality.
Nice. Oh, man. That was unlikely. That was unlikely to happen.
So
and
what?
you did it.
He actually scared me.
He actually scares you. I mean, it depends
oh my
on.
gosh.
So,
he
I mean,
he don't scare me.
No. Think about it this way, though, Amon. Like, how this at the very least, your intent specifically was what, Thomas? Like, how do you want him to react to this? Is this like this town ain't big enough?
I
for
can't
the two of
fork
us?
in
Like,
anything with my
leave?
will.
Basically, to understand that I know that basically with the idea of either like I know, so you need to confess, or I will do something about it. Is sort of the idea. I will do something about this.
So basically, your choices here, Amon, are to escalate or to back down. And what does back down
I
look
can
like
choose.
for? I mean, yeah, because his intent was to like get you to understand the position you're in and then to respond accordingly, as opposed to his intent could have been like have you literally run, like you want to run, right? But his intent is basically to get you to like be forced to make a decision, either way to expose yourself. You get to choose what that is, though. So yeah, you're gonna have to expose to the town in some capacity who you are. You can do that by running and just leaving, or you can do that by.
So everyone's gonna know I'm a killer.
I mean, one way or another, everyone's gonna know that you weren't who you said you were. Unless you escalate right now and kill everyone in the town, then
I'm
yeah,
not gonna kill the whole town. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't care about them.
I mean, the issue here is like
But then there's no one else to kill.
you just have to move on to another town. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you, Amon. You're gonna have to like.
How does possession work?
Okay, yeah, let's.
I can't use a demon power.
I mean, probably could.
Because I have that, right? That's a skill I have now.
You
or
have
something?
the trait, yeah. You could probably use someone there.
Oh, I'm gonna use my skill, dude. I'm using it. I just want to make my eyes glow and scare him.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the trait to see specifically what you can do with it. Possess. This special trait may only be chosen after blah 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 blah. If it is taken, the character is possessed by a demon. Choose one appropriate trait to be made manifest through the human vessel from the demon list in the monster burner. I recommend that Lawbreaker come along with any and all choices, but it's not required. Once the nature of the possession is determined, blah 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 blah. So basically, you get a new, besides possessed, you get a new monstrous trait that you can use to your advantage. Let's decide what that is.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Basically, your possession manifests itself somehow, and you get to choose what that is. So I'm going to give you a couple options here. Like you could do something. I assume you want something that's like gonna help you.
Well, I just want to know what the options are before I pick.
I mean, it's just something monstrous, right? Like something that you would get from being possessed by a demon. So
Like incredible strength or something?
something like that would work, yeah.
So I could get incredible strength and just choke him and pick him up and say,
I'm trying to find like specifically what.
and I want
that would be.
to pick him up by the throat and say with one hand and say, you should have talked to me in private, and then just kill him.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good trait for that.
And
I would be on my guard. I don't know if that affects
obviously there'd be a
anything.
roll here and stuff.
So and he could surprise me
Yeah.
necessarily.
but you don't know I'm possessed.
I don't know that, so that would be surprising. But
Yeah,
I
you probably
would
have to make a
be.
steal
I wouldn't
test.
be surprised by
You attack
making a move.
Yeah.
By you making a move.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Sudden demonic super strength would be surprising.
I'm trying to find.
Thomas is tired, man. It's past your bedtime, huh?
This is when I start getting ready for bed.
Yeah, I usually try to, when I have work, I usually try to be in bed by 11.
10 o'clock is my time. And I notice a drastic change between getting to bed by 10 o'clock or going to bed after 10 o'clock.
Right,
which
yeah.
is interesting.
What do you mean? In what? Oh,
In-
sorry.
In how my morning goes, and then in my energy through the next day.
Interesting.
So the way that this is going to work, Chad, is if you want
Yes.
to do this, I think this is going to be a permanent change, right? You can't just like turn this on and off. But you would
Oh,
get,
so I'll have incredible strength forever?
basically the trait you're going to get is massive stature.
Oh,
Right,
no.
so-
I'm going to become huge?
Basically, you're going to be at least 7 feet tall.
Forever?
Become barrel-chested, hulking with long, thick limbs and shoulders like towering cliffs.
What?
Yeah.
That's a possessed?
Basically, it's like the demon is going to like power you up. But it's
But
like
the demon doesn't control me at all.
I mean, the demon has its own things it wants to do, but it's
Yeah.
perfectly willing to let you do things like this.
And that demon's probably happy that it possessed a serial killer.
So yeah. you
Oh,
can do that if
man.
you want to.
Okay, yeah. It had, monstrous stature.
So
giant stature.
Amon suddenly grows.
Oh, my gosh. This is a crazy movie, man.
And I mean, it looks a lot, honestly, it looks a lot like the hog in a lot of ways, right? It's like he starts to grow. Like, it's not like he grows.
I still
like,
want to look like a human, though.
You look like a human,
I
but
don't want blobs all over me.
it's not blobs all over you, but it's definitely
Okay.
like the sort of like the growth that you get is more along the lines of like hulking in a probably boorish type of way, right? Like, than like, you don't look like a troll necessarily or anything like that. But yeah, you get bulky, and in massive stature doesn't actually, as Peyton pointed out, it doesn't actually give you more power. But in the bloody versus test that's probably going to follow here, it will give you bonus die because of your like increased size against them and stuff.
Okay.
So I mean, I feel like at this point, Isidore, you're going to make a steel test.
Oh, dude, you're going down, man.
Those have gone so well
I
so
know
far.
exactly. I think it's gonna be just a base 6. And I'm gonna let you get a bonus die because you're
What?
And this
you're with allies, right? Like you have people to help. Like that's a bonus die in your favor. You're surrounded by allies that make you feel safe, sort of thing.
So wait,
feel
I missed
attacked.
the advantage. I missed what you said.
Basically because it's like in a group of allies.
Mm-hmm.
You feel slightly safer, so you can get a bonus die for that for the steel test.
Okay.
But yeah, ob 6 is going to be so your base hesitation.
So I have one advantage.
Yep.
And no Artha dice has 6 for the hesitation ob.
Yes.
No. Okay.
Oof. That didn't work.
And this is, Amon, this is in the door, basically, essentially on your front porch.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so
what happens?
You're
So
revealing yourself.
So Isidore, you do get to make a choice here,
Everybody.
actually, though. You can stand and drool, right? You can swoon. You can fall prone and beg for mercy, or you can run away screaming. If you stand and drool, or swoon, or fall prone and beg for mercy, he's gonna be able to do a free shot on you, right? If you run away screaming, well, you're gonna run away screaming, and you're gonna look stupid, but you're gonna survive at least in the initial.
There's no way that I could frame runaway screaming into something not so humiliating to myself.
You run away
as in
terror.
like running, could I like basically frame it into a way of like running and like guys, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. You could do that. Either way, it's motivated out of terror. Like that's what's motivating you. But you can frame it as like everyone over here right now. Like, oh my gosh, like yeah.
Would I let him do that though? Do I have to let him do that?
Doing.
You can try to catch him. You can try to
I want to kill him.
But he's making a speed test in response at this point, basically, right?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna use a knife.
Okay.
I have a cleaver.
Yeah, so basically you just want to like kill him before he can run away.
I'm gonna kill him. Yeah, okay. I'm going to kill him.
Isidore, you're gonna make a speed test, and Amon is gonna make a knife
I'm possessed.
test.
I'm killing him.
Okay, speed.
Hey, shouldn't I have more knives? Because didn't I do a routine roll today? I didn't put any dots.
It doesn't matter anymore. You already have 3 routine. You already have what you need. You just need difficult and challenging now, or just a difficult at this point. So go ahead and take 2 advantage dice, Isidore, because I think Silas and your guard friend are going to help you get away.
Why would Silas help him?
So Seth messaged me and said Silas is going to basically keep low and don't want to involve, like, make sure he's not implicated in this.
Oh, I'm killing him too then. You're fake.
Well,
Seth.
you don't know anyways, so you would probably have the goal of killing him anyways.
Yeah,
I'm killing it. I know it doesn't matter.
You got to kill everybody.
No, I'm only killing you 3.
I mean, at this point,
everybody's
they're running out into the town, so you either need to like kill everyone.
No, I'm killing them before they leave my doorstep.
Right. Okay.
But people will see that.
Seth, you're the fakest. You're supposed to be the guy that's scared of everything. You hid in a closet and you're standing up to a 7-foot monster. You're crazy. Inconsistent. Kind of like Federal Vision. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So, I mean, yeah, go ahead and make your speed test.
Red. Or that's the opposite of red pill because you criticized it.
Peyton, I'm just going to assume that Silas and the guard made the same amount of steel test result as Isidore did, and so they're all just running.
Okay, so you said speed with 2 advantage.
2 advantage die. Yep.
And what is my thingy?
Amon, go ahead and roll your knives first.
How many? Can I do all my forks?
You can do knives wise and anatomy.
Not villager wise, because I know him.
I've been here for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I'm not going to have you do your bloodletting or butchery or anything like that either, because this is more like a single slice rather than like you're, actually butchering him at this point. This is like you stopping him from moving. But so you can get 2 forks, two advantage dice for your knives. But then, yeah, go ahead and roll your knives. And that'll be your honestly, just put a 1 because you're going to be doing against him, so. Okay, so your ob is 2, Eastor. Which honestly, actually, it would have doubled to 4 because you're doing a stat, but you got it, so you succeeded. Because you're using a stat against a skill, which doubles the ob, but you still got 4, so you still succeed, and you're the defender anyway. So yeah, basically what happens is Isidore and gang run, screaming out into the courtyard, and everyone is now aware of the 7-foot hulking monstrosity standing in Amon's doorway. And I mean, I feel like you look enough like yourself that people are like, "What?" But yeah.
I'm just gonna kill him anyway. I'm gonna just go kill him.
So this is, I mean, at this point, this is Amon does a bloody versus against the entire village. Right? That's what this is. But the thing is, Isidore has given these.
Why do I
men some
have to kill the? Why do I have to fight the whole village?
Because if you're running after him, the whole village is. Because this is the thing. Isidore has told the men, like, listen,
but
we
they're
have
scared.
To stand up. But this is the thing.
I've set this up.
He literally, this is foreshadowed. Isidore gave them a backbone. So this is going to be bloody versus time. So Amon, you can add on all of your stuff, right?
This is not even. I feel cheated.
You feel cheated? How?
Because I couldn't use the fact that I had to roll intimidation to scare him.
Yeah, this is the thing.
But
Amon is
when actually in reality he should have been scared of me, but he wasn't. But he gets the whole town on it.
But that's the thing.
I honestly feel cheated.
Though. No. So this is the thing.
Just have the town kill me. I won't even just.
Isidore had the whole town backing him at that point. I think it makes total sense that he wouldn't have been scared of what you did, of what you said, right? Because he knew the whole town would back him up because of what happened earlier.
I didn't care about that though. I was scaring,
right, but you also don't have the skill intimidation, so you're not good at convincing people that you're scary. You are scary,
but I don't have to be an intimidating person for someone to be intimidated by me.
Keep in mind, Amon, you have a call on for knives. You are probably you get to reroll all failed dice. If you happen to fail this test against them, you get to reroll all of your failed dice.
Well, why can't I reroll the knives roll I just did?
You can.
Then I will. How do I do it?
Yeah, no, you can. So do the fate option. Just do it like you're doing fate.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna reroll. Put 3 dice down, and 1 ob.
There.
Yeah, dang. So the thing is though, this is the issue though. At this point, the whole town knows about you. Like, it's impossible for them not to. You're in the doorway.
Yeah, but now they didn't get away.
Sure. Yeah.
And they didn't say anything.
So
the whole town is not.
Well,
the whole town is not an ear and eye shot of my doorway.
Sure. I still scream, right?
Yeah.
That still happens. So there's still the attempt to shouting and screaming.
I think at this point
attention is drawn, but we haven't gotten away from the door.
Yeah, and this we're running out of time here. So like, I think what happens is Isidore gets stabbed, right, by the knife. You go down. We're not going to say specifically what kind of wound you got or whatever that, we'll kind of come back to whether or not you die or not later. But like, Isidore gets stabbed in the doorway. Silas in the guard gets, you take them out, right, and they're down. But the town has now realized this. Now my thought is Isidore still made the ugly truth roll to give the men a backbone. I think they would still stand up to you, right? But at this point, they don't have the leadership of Isidore, right? He's not leading them, organizing them, whatever. So I think we're going to make one last roll here to see basically if the town manages to put you down or if you kill everyone in a demon-possessed rampage.
I don't want to kill. I don't know.
And you could just run at this point if you want to.
No, I feel like I would try to give some speech and be like, "Who saved you from the Jagati?"
Right, you want to.
And these men came here to kill me, and scare everyone into submission.
Right.
But we're out of time, so that's what I would do.
Yeah.
You can see if they're gonna all kill me.
Let's do this. Let's have you make the roll here. You're gonna make the knives roll and stuff, right? And if you want the intent to be you kill enough of them that you can eventually intimidate them into basically making you in charge of the town, that can be an intent that you can succeed at.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You can basically be like, I want to be the dictator of the town now, and I do that by stabbing enough people that they eventually just listen to me, right?
Because I want to kill Jagati.
Yeah.
So I have no problem training these guys and being their leader and just killing the Jagati.
I think what's gonna happen, I'm gonna add up all their dice, and then you're gonna add up all your dice, and we're gonna make one roll back and forth here.
Okay.
And if you fail, they kill you. And I think at that point, Isidore.
and I don't really care if.
And that's fine. Yeah,
dies.
Isidore and Silas and the guard will survive. Right? They'll survive from their wounds, and the good ending of this story will happen. But if you succeed, then they die.
The good
Tyrant.
with a catch, because there's still Silas who is
true,
who now has the connection to the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, let's make the roll here. So,
but if Silas dies, then how's the meat gonna get spread throughout the town or wherever?
You'll then have to have
I
that
die.
conversation
Doesn't everyone
with your brother.
die?
Yeah.
oh wow, that was a good roll. I was not expecting to get that many successes. Okay, so your ob is 10 because you are fighting an entire town.
Not at the same time.
I mean, that's kind of what ends up
Isn't it
happening.
half the town? No.
I mean, still, it's an entire town's worth of it. We did say it was like a
pound's worth of men.
It's like in the low hundreds that people that live here, right? So, yeah, I feel like an ob 10 is a reasonable ob.
Okay, knives.
Yes, knives. You can fork in anatomy, bloodletting, butchery, guts-wise, knives-wise, obviously villager-wise, and then go ahead and take a bonus die for your massive stature.
8.
So it's gonna be that's 7 altogether.
7?
Yeah. Anatomy, anatomy, bloodletting, butchery, guts-wise, knives-wise, villager-wise, and your massive stature stuff.
Okay, 7.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you don't have any fate. You've already spent all of them.
I have nothing.
And the issue is you already did your call on too, right?
Oh, you can only do it once?
Yeah, once per session. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, hey, you advanced your knives though, as you die.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is the ending, right? It was foreshadowed, right? Isidore managed to inspire the townsfolk enough that they came together to defeat this monster and save the town, right? And even though Isidore didn't have to be there to have it succeed, it still worked, right? Yeah, and so the ending we get is that they managed to kill you. This does throw a wrench in the plans of the Barbers Guild, though, right? Obviously, they had you set up in a very good position in this town. And so they're going to have to find someone else to do that. Silas himself isn't going to do that, probably, at least not initially. They might be able to eventually break him down and convince him to be a serial killer, but that would take a while, probably. So the Barbers Guild's plans for Karousia are foiled for now, but there is a seed of danger still remaining in Karousia. Cool. Awesome. That was
Nice.
Death Unto Madness.
When the regular campaign eventually makes connections here again, I would like to know about that so that way I can tune in.
Yeah, sounds good.
I probably won't take the time to catch up, but I would jump in there.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, it's the Barbers Guild is now definitely a thing that's happening in this world, and I'm really pumped about it. Cool. Yeah. All right. I mean, I would say do beliefs and instincts, but we're kind of very overdue for time here, so we'll just kind of call it here, and we can do it off screen. So cool. That was Death Unto Madness.
We're earning anything anyway.
Yeah.
Amon died, so we
I'm
are
dead.
we are out. We'll be back hopefully next week, maybe with the real Death Unto Madness. And I'm excited because I think we're gonna do a trait vote. I think we're gonna say it's a new arc. And vote on and off some traits on your characters. So you'll get some cool new things. Also, I had a really good idea, Silas, for a thing we can change about your enchanting situation that'll make it way more fun for you. But we'll talk about it next time. So cool. All right, we're done. See ya. Thanks for coming on, Thomas, as a guest. That was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. See ya.